What if a city woke to silence and a sea of bodies? Not shock, a question. A stillness swept the square, drawing strangers like a tide. At dawn, beneath stone and glass, something breathtaking began. As the first light of morning washed over centuries-old stone, something extraordinary was unfolding. A crowd gathered, drawn not by a single voice, but by a shared, unspoken purpose. They stood together, a silent assembly against iconic landmarks, their presence a gentle interruption to the day's first commuters. But this was no ordinary gathering. There were no signs, no chants, no demands. The people stood without clothes, vulnerable yet unified, their forms creating a vast living tapestry of human sculpture. It was at once startling and serene, an unexpected pause in the relentless rhythm of urban life. It would become known as the art stunt that gently shook Europe, a moment of mass performance art that spoke not with aggression, but with a quiet, powerful question about vulnerability, conformity, and who we are beneath it all. It was designed not for shock alone, but for expression and reflection, a shared experience for both participant and observer. Images spread across the globe, soft, respectful, silhouettes against the dawn, where the individual was lost to the breathtaking beauty of the whole. To understand this event, we must first understand the philosophies that inspired it. This wasn't just a random occurrence. It was the culmination of powerful, long-standing ideas that challenge how we view ourselves and our place in the world. One of these is naturism, a way of life with a long and rich history. Emerging in the late 19th century, it was a movement promoting health, wellness, and a deeper connection with the environment. It's a culture rooted in simplicity and community, a return to a more fundamental state of being. It is typically practiced in natural settings and designated clubs or private spaces, creating environments where vulnerability is met with safety and acceptance. It's crucial to distinguish it from exhibitionism or sexuality. The focus is on freedom, self-acceptance, and a profound connection to the natural world. It's about shedding layers, both literal and metaphorical, to embrace a state of health, simplicity, and mutual respect. Respect is the absolute cornerstone. Staring is discouraged, and enthusiastic consent is essential for any interaction. The environment is built on trust. The emphasis is always on shared activity over scrutiny, fostering a space where people of all ages, shapes, and sizes feel safe and welcome. The European art event drew heavily from this ethos, creating a temporary community built on these very principles of openness and respect. But it also aligned with another, more modern movement, body freedom. This philosophy is about actively reclaiming a positive, shame-free relationship with our bodies. It directly challenges the narrow, often unattainable beauty standards perpetuated by media and society. The core message is to love the body you have at this very moment, regardless of its size, color, age, or ability. It's a radical act of self-acceptance. By gathering such a diverse crowd in a public space, the artist made a powerful statement. There is no single correct body. Each one is valid, worthy of respect, and deserving of being seen without judgment. For millennia, artists have turned to the human body as their most immediate and profound subject. Depicting the unclothed form isn't just a tradition, it's as old as art itself, a primal impulse to capture our own existence in its most fundamental state. From the idealized athletic forms of ancient Greece, which celebrated divine perfection in human shape, to the dramatic, emotionally charged figures of the Renaissance masters, who rediscovered the body's expressive power. Through countless sketches and studies, artists delved deep beneath the skin. They studied the body to understand the mechanics of anatomy, but also to map the invisible landscapes of emotion, life, vulnerability, and strength. The nude became a primary language of Western art, a vessel for storytelling. It could embody the epic tales of gods and heroes, or capture the quiet, unadorned dignity of everyday people. Ideal and imperfect, symbolic and real, the body in art is a mirror to our shared humanity. This modern event consciously saw itself in that very lineage, aiming to extend the conversation into the public sphere. The goal was not simply to create pictures of naked people, but to create a living sculpture. The medium was the collective human body. The canvas was the city itself. Here, hundreds of bodies entered into a dialogue with the cathedral, the bridge, and the ancient stone, a powerful and fleeting juxtaposition. It posed questions of nature versus civilization, the individual versus the collective, and ephemeral life versus permanence. As the early light wrapped the forms in a delicate ethereal glow, the scene transformed. The use of blur and distance was a deliberate artistic choice, shifting focus from individual bodies to the overall composition, color, and pattern. The result was an image more like a vast, breathing landscape than a collection of individuals. Performance art and photography blended seamlessly. The participants were not merely subjects, but active collaborators in the creation of a temporary, beautiful, and thought-provoking new reality. Behind the sweeping images, hundreds of individual stories, each one a thread in a larger tapestry. Students, office workers, retirees, artists. A young woman from Berlin joined to overcome years of self-consciousness. She had compared herself to glossy images, felt she fell short. Among hundreds of normal, imperfect bodies, a revelation. A Paris area historian saw a chance to inhabit living history, a temporary reimagining of a familiar place. Nervousness, then calm, anonymity, and safety in the whole. At first, my heart was pounding. Then I felt incredible peace, just human. Stories transform an abstract concept into a human experience. A silent conversation about body image, community, and courage. Held in the open air of a European morning, you know. An event of this scale needed profound trust. Safety, physical and emotional, came first. Preparation began long before the day. Clear sign-up, expectations explained, usage defined. Consent centered the process. PG safe, artistic compositions, silhouettes, large-scale shots, no explicit close-ups. On the day, stewards assisted and enforced the code of conduct. A clear boundary created an artistic space. Dawn minimized interaction and disruption. Care and professionalism reassured participants. Simple, firm rules. No unauthorized photography. Treat everyone with respect. Remember, you are part of a collective artwork. Shared vulnerability without fear. Trust enabled calm to replace chaos. A radical act, executed with kindness and care. This is what distinguished art from spectacle. When the first images appeared, fascination and debate. In cafes, on TV, in newspapers. The topic traveled across Europe. Some called it shocking, others asked thoughtful questions about art and society. Intentions were explained and contextualized. Painterly silhouettes reframed the narrative, part of a global trend of large-scale no-clothes gatherings, each event shaped by place and purpose. Some joyous, others contemplative. Why is the unclothed body tied to shame or sexuality, and can it be seen otherwise? Ultimately, the public reaction became part of the artwork. No single response, only dialogue. A ripple, not a tidal wave. A subtle disturbance on public consciousness. As the sun rose higher, it ended as quietly as it began. The participants dressed. The square slowly emptied. The city resumed its rhythm. The sculpture became a crowd again. To a latecomer, nothing seemed unusual. Yet for those who were there, and those who saw the images, something shifted. A question lingered in the air. Perspective is the core. The same scene can seem shocking, beautiful, shameful, or brave. Organizers argued through images, not arguments, with care, safety, and respect. They invited us to see not nudity, but humanity. Not bodies, but a unified expression of life. As the camera pulls back and the city moves on, the question remains for you to answer.